What is going on, everybody? Another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures. In today's episode, we got a million flies around me, and I want to talk to you about my rooftop tent change. So, as you would know, prior to having this Drifta rooftop tent, I had a different rooftop tent on the car. I'll go through the story, what made me buy that one, what made me get this one, and the difference between the two and all the rest of it. So, the first rooftop tent was a clamshell type, if you remember it. Unfortunately, I bought that when I still wanted to have, when I still had the Patrol, and that was going to work perfectly on that car. Quite a long roof, open up, plenty of places to mount it, all that kind of stuff. So that would work absolutely perfect on the Patrol. But unfortunately, being the length it was, it didn't really work too well on the Ute. So with the Ute, it had a quite a long overhang. So there was probably about a meter overhang on the over the roof, on the actual roof of the car. And what was actually happening is because of that length, there's a lot of weight essentially secured to the canopy. And as you would know, the canopy and the Ute body move in different ways when you're driving. So what actually started happening is that weight started sort of pivoting on the back of my car and started damaging my tray. So the tray that's on the top of my canopy. So went back to the drawing board. I ended up selling that to my good mate Craig from Roo's Adventures. So if you don't follow him, he will be still running the rooftop and making use out of it. He's mounted it to the top of his car, so he's put it on top of on the roof rather than the canopy. But it made me think and made me sort of change up the way I do things. So let me go through the cons and pros of both, and I'll tell you why I went with this one and all the rest of it. So pros and cons. Pros and cons. The other one was very, very simple to set up. So it took 30 seconds. Once you put it up and put the little awning poles out, you're done. Had a 50mm mattress. It was only 16mm long. It weighed 65 kilos, so it was very light. And it was just a good rooftop. So I was really happy with it. Didn't have any dramas with it. Didn't leak any water. I think some people sort of online complain that brand leaked water. But I didn't get any water leakage in mine. And I did sleep into it for a few showers. So one thing I will talk about is it used to condensate up a fair bit. So I used to have the electric blanket in there during winter, and obviously when you have it all closed up, which you need to during winter because it gets really cold, it would condensate up a fair bit. So that was only probably major gripe they had with it. Now with this one, the setup is probably 3 times as long. So with this one, you've got a few clips that you need to undo, take the top off, unclip the ladder, and then there's a little red sort of like bungee cord that you unclip to sort of stop it from flapping around. Then you put it out. Obviously, then you got to pull out the awning, put the awning taut, and then you're done. So it is a little bit more of a process, but when I say it's 3 times longer, we're talking maybe a minute and a half to get this one set up, maybe 2 minutes, and it's still quicker than a swag. Doesn't matter which way you're looking, it's still quicker than a swag. Now, the other benefit from going to the old one to the new one, or so the old one to this Drifta, is this Drifta's about 40 kilos. So I'll give you the exact weight on the screen. So it's the Drifta Light 1.2. So it's only about 40 something kilos. So I've dropped another 25 kilos with this unit, and you do actually feel that in the car. Like it is funny how much that weight sort of makes the car feel on the road and that kind of thing. So I feel good about losing the extra weight. Saves me losing 25 kilos, but yeah, it is a lot lighter, which is good. So going into the pros of this one as well, very airy inside, plenty of space. Ventilation was great last night. Condensation, I did notice a little bit of condensation, but then I opened up the top flap above my head, and that was fine after that. So it's got like I suppose like a dual skin. So you've got your outer layer, which allows air to come through, but then you have your inner layer, which is obviously where you sleep. So the outer layer and the inner layer, there's a zip where you can open up, and obviously it allows the air to come in and air to go out. And it doesn't allow a lot of breeze and that kind of stuff. So you can sort of get that condensation air, which makes all the walls wet out of the rooftop. So it was beautiful to sleep in last night. had a good night's sleep. I wasn't too cold. I mean, it is sort of summer, but the beach does get cold, obviously, during the night. So, yeah, I didn't get too cold or anything like that, which was good. And the lighting there is fantastic for, just running stuff, reading a book or something like that. If that's what you're going to use it for, beautiful for that. Cons. So, I was happy at first with the mattress in this. It's probably a little bit too thin, so I'm going to put an egg topper on it, mainly because just to give me a little bit more support. So I've got a pretty bad back, so I want to have a little bit more comfort, and I think egg topper is just going to be just enough to get me where I need to be. Like a little 10 mil egg topper or something like that, just to take off a little bit, like, because that'll make it a sort of about 45 to almost 50 mil mattress, which is sort of where I think a good sort of mattress is in a rooftop tent. The other one used to be 50 mil, and that was quite good. Even though that was a little bit hard as well, but I think an egg topper will just sort of perfect that a bit. I haven't got a sore back or anything, so I didn't have a bad night's sleep. But I just think, obviously, like over time, an egg topper would make it a little bit more enjoyable. So this is one of those things that I'm going to look at and obviously change. But yeah, cons, I suppose. Yeah, the setup time and the pack up time's a little bit longer. It is a little bit taller off the roof, so if you've got a car that's quite tall already, you might find you're not fitting your garage with this kind of unit, whereas the other one's obviously a lot more slimline, and that's about it. I suppose the other con is you can't mount stuff to this. So with the other one, I could mount like solar panels and all that kind of stuff too, which was good. But I can't mount anything to this, so it's a soft rooftop, which is not a big drama because eventually I'm going to put a like a roof rack on the car, and I'll mount solar panels or whatever I need to, max tracks or whatever to that. So I'm not overly stressed about mounting stuff to it, which is sort of the whole process of the thought process of, why do I go this one? But I think these really set up a ute better. Compared to like your hard shells and that kind of thing. Unless you can get a hard shell with a canopy, like a 1650 or an 1800 canopy, then you got no stretch. You got like 1800 of canopy to mount it to, so you can have like a little bit of overhang and it's going to cause no issues. But when you've only got, say, about a meter of plate, like space to mount something, and then you've got a 2 meter unit, you can imagine how much not on there. So it's become a bit of a seesaw when they're sitting on the car. So if you've got a canopy like this and you're trying to set it up, I probably wouldn't recommend something like that. I'd recommend more something like this, mainly because as I said, it's gonna mount better, it's gonna sit on the car better, it's gonna take up less space, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's me. That's my new rooftop, the Drifter. I think they're called the Wildlands or the Wild. Yeah, it's pretty sure it's the Wildlands 1.2 Light, is what it's called. Really happy with it so far. I've only slept in it one night, so as I said, I'll give you a review later on down the track if anything breaks or anything like that. But they seem like a pretty robust unit. They're very, very well thought of, like how they set up and that kind of thing. And yeah, kept, as I said, kept the mozzies out, kept these bloody sandflies out, and I had a good night's sleep in there. And that's all you want from a rooftop tent. But yeah, there's no real other cons about it. Wind noise is about the same, so I didn't really find any more wind noise with the two units. It's probably a little bit better with this because it's further back, so you don't really hear it as much. Because the other one was sort of above your head, so you heard everything. But yeah, that's about it, guys. It's a good rooftop tent. I mean, they're both good rooftop tents. I prefer this one now, obviously, because it suits my setup better. And I'll go one more con. If you've got two people in there, it'll be quite tight. So you can fit two people in there, no dramas, but it will be tight. So just bearing that in mind on the size of your frame and that kind of thing. So if you've got two people, that might be a bit tight for if you're a little bit bigger or something like that. So I'm quite skinny. I'm only 85 kilos, so you can fit two of me in there quite easily. But if you're quite a burly bloke, like quite wide, yeah, you might find it a little bit tricky to maybe get you and the missus or something in there because it's quite wide. Quite thin because it's only 1.2 wide. So, and then obviously you got the canvas and that kind of stuff to negotiate. So, yeah, if it's just something to think about. If you're fitting a big daddy double swag, you'll probably fit in this all right. But if you find that quite tight, then you're going to find this quite tight as well. So just put that out there. But that's all I'm going to say about it so far. I've only had it on the car for like 2 weeks. So full review coming on later on down the track. But yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on the old one, the new one. And I prefer the new one compared to the old one because it suits my setup a lot better. Yeah, so I'm not affiliated with these guys. They gave me a discount, which is good. But yeah, I paid, not full price, but almost full price for it. And as I said, the guys down there, customer service, Megan down at Drifta Stockton in Perth was fantastic. The whole team was good, so they looked after me, so it was good. Really appreciate all the support and service from Drifter. It was really good. Yeah, no faults down there. Definitely much better service than the other company, that's for sure. But I'll leave it there. Thanks so much, guys, for watching the video. If I don't see you in the next video, I might see you out here in the traction trails. If I don't see you in the traction trails, I shall see you later. Have a great day and have a good Sunday. Bye.